Well, one way you could think about disability is it reframes our understanding of time. So the idea of reframing comes from psychotherapy, where somebody gets stuck in a place and can't see any resolution to the situation. So what the therapist tries to do is to give another angle to look at it. Nothing changes, but by looking at it from another angle, so everything changes. And I think that the experiences of people with disability, and in particular the kind of neurological disabilities that I talk about in the book, enables us to see the world in a different way and see the timefulness of day-to-day in a different way, simply by being. So it's not like they're prophetic in the sense that Amos was prophetic or Isaiah was prophetic. It's as we engage and notice their way of being in the world and the way that they process time and live into time. So our kind of, if you ordered time as we put it, or progressive time, just seems strange. And as soon as something seems strange, as soon as you create that dissonance, then that's the point for change. Now with dissonance, you can either pull back and say, well, I like my time the way that it is. It's progressive, it's linear, I'm in control. Or you can slow down and say, well, maybe there's something different here. Maybe by being alongside people who perceive the world differently, who show and reveal a different mode of time, maybe that can change me. Or better, maybe that can change us all, because it's not about me, it's about us all becoming the body of Christ in meaningful ways. Well, I always think that the tension between science and faith is a false tension. It's a tension that's usually brought up in a polemical way because somebody wants an argument somewhere. Whereas, for me as a Christian, and particularly as a Christian theologian, I recognise that everything that I know and understand occurs within creation. So I'm a creature, I'm something that's created, I'm contingent, I'm something who's completely dependent on God for all things. And science occurs in creation. So science may or may not, when I say science, I mean scientists, may or may not acknowledge that, but in reality that's the case. So science, when it's done well, when it's done faithfully, is a mode of participation in the reconciliation of creation, the redemption of creation. So I never see the tension in that way. So it's only when you put them at odds in that way. So for youth ministers, I think that using science faithfully, by that I mean thinking through what the telos of it is, what the goals of it is, and ultimately what the eschatology of it is, what does it mean in terms of the way that creation is moving towards its final destination. It's a good thing. Science, it's a good thing to know and understand creation. It's good to know the ways that the wonders of the world work. It's also a good thing to recognise that mystery is important. But there are things that we can't know, and trying to know everything is problematic. And I think sometimes people who engage in scientism, it's kind of a dogmatic science, who want to know everything, can get into difficulties. I suppose that's what we learn from the Genesis account of creation, that if you try to know too much, then you get stuck.